we'll have to see afterwards. A quick look at the driver standing, at the team standings. We have Racing Bull being crowned champion last round. After having now a gap of 152 points to Red Bull, Leo and Joker were just not close enough to do something against the sister team. They got that top spot, got it done, and so became double champions now here in Season 4 with Jack Cook and now the team. McLaren close by can still steal it away from Red Bulls. Williams really needs to have a look. Really needs to look to get a good weekend in to maybe have a look at McLaren, but they should be looking behind with the Kick, Sauber, and the Mercedes and Aston Martin. They are very close together, so those teams need to look further behind. And the rearview mirror then up ahead. And now after Ferrari, Haas could maybe look to get from Ferrari, but the Ferrari combo. Tonight we have two reserve drivers, the Ferraris, Silecito and Todo Barcelona. They could be maybe looking to set Ferrari's fate to maybe get Aston Martin and Mercedes, but of course that will be seen after the weekend. If you want to see the results, every viewer, if you want to see the results of this season, the Discord should be in the description, and after the race it will be updated very soon. And with that, coming to the race now, we have sprint quality happening, and I believe we have some issues with the stream. Pardon me there. Here we go. And we have sprint qualifying happening, being on a run already, and of course a track being Singapore. Quite a interesting track. When a new change last year around in 2024 with Sector 3 getting rid of an extra part of the track, now being circuit length of 4.94 kilometers. First Grand Prix held in 2008, where the all-known death chicane was involved in Sector 2 between turns 10, now 10 to 12. It was a 4-corner complex where the cars back then, if you took it wrong, you'd be catapulted to the wall. And of course, for safety measures, they did get rid of it. Fastest lap time. Now this is a heartbreak for every F1 viewer watching last year. Fastest lap time held by Daniel Ricciardo in 2024 with a 1:34.486. His last lap in Formula 1 was the lap record for Singapore. His name is gonna stay up there for maybe a bit longer. We'll see, of course, real life in 2025 how that will change. But of course, now we're here in Alps Racing League for the final round. So eyes are on now the qualifying session. It's a bit shorter this sprint quali session than our usual qualifying sessions, just because, of course, it is basically two race weekends inside of each other, and the sprint weekend is just a bit shorter. The sprint sessions are built shorter, as a sprint is instead of the marathon of the full race. We will have after the sprint qualifying, we will have the sprint race, a bit of to see what's gonna happen, what's to see for the fourth session, and then we'll have the marathon race, the long qualifying about 17 minutes, and then a race that's of 31 laps. It's going to be about 15 laps for sprint, so we'll see how that will go. No pit stops are going to be planned for the sprint. Of course, it is just down to driver preference. Soft compound are going to struggle throughout the sprint, so we might see drivers, if they start on the soft compound, to pit once during the sprint. Mediums and hards will make it with a no stop to the end. Of course, the rules allow that to happen. And we see a 1-2 currently for Ferrari with the reserve drivers, Todo Barcelona topping the board with 1:29.2. Then it's Silecito with a 1:29.449. Then it's Ferrelcat, a driver who's seen the top spot quite a few times this season, up in P3 with a 1:29.493. Very close to second place Ferrari. We'll see how the sprint session goes so far. We had a car of Alfa Cono cross, I believe, Alfa Cono now getting in the pit lane brief, and Leo jumping up in the positions 2P5, but got taken away by Cook, a champion this season, with a 129.357 in P2. Of course, even after winning the championship, he still can look to win the final rounds here in Singapore. Let's see how that will go and end up. I have high hopes. He has shown potential. Let's see how that will go. Sector 1 yellow flag. Let's have the telemetry here up to see what is happening on the track. Pardon me, one button there. And so we have a few cars out on track, many hours in the pit lane, 3 minutes 55 seconds remaining. Could come to a point where we will see all the cars coming out of pit lane, about a 2-minute time remaining. Seeing how that will go then. Of course, this is a street circuit, not wide enough to have for a lot of cars side by side. Here's a straight, which is the widest of the track. But all along in the corner complex here, the sector 3 is the widest, where we might see a lot of battles. Of course, both the S zones out of the 4, there are 4 DS zones. One being, of course, the start finish straight, then the first straight after turn 5, that as we see in the bottom right, with the little right hand kink of turn 6, and then there's 2 DS zones afterwards, after turn 13, the hairpin, where I believe Liam is now going through. Not Liam, the second Aston Martin of Sprint is going through. Here's 1 DS zone, then comes turn 14, and then in the midst of this straight here, with turn 15 kink, is this 4th DS zone. Maybe not opening there by the Aston Martin, but he is currently on it. So one track where most of the track actually is a DS zone. There's only sector 2 has, with the complex of turn 7, 8 and 9, where no DS zones, and then of course comes after the slide straight, and then a bit of comes the where the old depth chicane was of 10, 11, 12 and 13, and then of course comes back with the DS zone. So quite a difficult choice and setup if it's going to be a high speed, a high downforce setup, or maybe a low downforce setup, low drag. Red Bull really revved his engine out to the pit there. So it's really going to be a mixture between if drivers are willing to go with a low drag setup and go for the top high speeds, or if they're going to go with high drag and be faster in the technical parts of the track, but lag in the straights. Will be seen afterwards. Who does what? To do Barcelona still is on top. He's about to start another fast lap here with 1 minute 34 remaining. Basically seeing he could maybe put one more lap after this. That was very close with track limits. Turn 2 now, turn 3. Looking in the exit there, the car can go just outside the white line. He managed to keep it inside. Oh, that is very on the edge there, but shows that a lot of practice done by the Ferrari here. On to the second DS zone now, towards turn 7. Quite a difficult corner to get right with the you can easily understeer off. Now turn 8. Now it's a section very close to walls, and it is an invalidation there by the Ferrari. Out of turn 8, I saw it just going too close to the wall, over the white line. You have his teammate as well starting his lap now. Through turn 1 and turn 2. Very close to the edge, we see the Ferrari go. Now through turn 4. Now turn 5. Now comes the DS zone. We have a yellow flag there. That's his teammate, Toto Barcelona, letting a few drivers by in the hairpin of turn 13. Now through turn 7. Let's see if we see the Ferrari do the same mistake his teammate done. Not this time. We see the Ferrari staying between the white lines. Now into the shorter straight between turn 9 and 10. And now through the complex here. Still a difficult chicane to navigate through, but the Ferrari has done nicely. And now careful the walls. Easy to just misplace a car and touch a barrier, but nicely done there. Firecat goes with the fastest time with 1:28.3, beating his time by nearly a second. But we see the Ferrari currently will on. See the Zito got fastest sector 2 could be looking to maybe take away that provisional pole position by the Williams. The final chicane. 16 and 17. There he is. Coming out of turn 16 now, 17 now for the double left-hander. And he's improved in his time, but not enough to get even close to Ferrocat. His teammate, Duda Barcelona, who was up on the top spot, managed to cross the line for another lap. I believe couldn't. But Cook currently is on the lap. He's improved 2 tenths in sector 2. Goes now for the final back straight. To the long back straight. Now comes the chicane. Keeping the car together. Not taking as much of track as we saw the Ferrari take. Double left-hander. Crosses the line to improve on his time to get himself up into P3. Jamboy also managed to get himself up into P2 in the meantime. So it's a Williams and then double Racing Bull 1, 2, 3. Ferrari 4-5 and then it's MP3 Gamers. MPA3 Gamers in the Haas in P7. Interesting how this played out. P6, pardon me. I said P7, I meant P6. Leo in P7, Joker in P8 in the Red Bull, Alfa Corn in P9, and Juan in the Alpine round out a top 10 for our sprint session, which will start after this little timer here at the top. It's gonna be a sprint session, which might not be a race session as we normally know, of course. For a top driver, Cook, he doesn't need to push as much as well anymore. He's got the championship under his belt, and now it's just to bring it home for another finish. But in the midfield, we still have quite a close championship to see. Everyone is still fighting for position. So we might see a lot of jumping around there as well. So here in Singapore, with the Williams or Ferrocat taking pole position, he is looking to bring it together as well. Of course, Ferrocat can jump a lot of positions here after being, I believe, joining mid-season as well. In the start, I've seen his name appear less. But after Saudi Arabia, he really has shown great potential this season and probably become quite a contender for next season round, season 5. All the drivers setting up the cars for this session, fuel, tire wise, maybe even looking if they're gonna pit or not, seeing how the race is. But here we go. The lights are turning off now. 4, 5 lights. Let's go for the sprint. We have 2 jump starters in the back. That's Farms and MB jumping the start at the back. But now towards turn 1, we have the Ferraris already nearly looking for a move on the Racing Bulls. Oh, Jamboy slightly brakes ahead of Cook, and there's a lot of debris flying off in the back, and there's cars round. The Love Magnet losing positions. There's the Hyper Igniter in the back losing as well. And Duda Barcelona already gets ahead of HP Cook. Did Cook get damage with that collision with his teammate? Look at that! Duda Barcelona loses no time. Oh, gets pushed off the track. Stays side by side. And gets Jamboy. And that's his teammate as well. Jamboy doesn't accept it. But here we go. Cook is looking for the switchback. Can he get it? Cook got it past. Now up at the P3 and Duda Barcelona got 2 positions at the start of the race. But he started on the soft compound. Will that work on the Ferrari? Maybe, but 10 laps. I said 58 as I was mistaken. It's 10 laps. But here we go. Cook is not losing any time on the medium compound. He's looking to get past. He knows the Ferrari just needs to cook the tires. But look at that. Ferrocat is already nearly 3 seconds off the road. He's run away there with the batting at the start. Absolutely what he wanted to see. But Duda Barcelona is incredibly keeping the position ahead. And in the back we have a Haas and they kick Sauber fighting position. Here it is MPA3 Gamer and Ben W. MPA3 Gamer has lost a few positions at the start of the race. I believe he was involved in the yellow flag that got called out. MB got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is quite a... let's have a look at position changes at the start of sprint. 3, Toto Barcelona went from P4 up to P2. Pardon me, P5 up to P2, but seems to me that, oh, I see debris flying there. Cook is not happy with it and tries to push himself past. Oh, there's a contact, and the Ferrari is round, and we've lost footage of the game. It's back now, but there we saw the contact between the Ferrari and HB Cook, but now that Silesito passed, both Cook lost a position there, and it seems to be strange. This is the first time we see Cook be this hyper aggressive the whole season round. I believe Cook knows that he has nothing to lose anymore and can be a bit more aggressive. We won't know until of course we see what his thoughts are, but that's the first time we see Cook being this aggressive in a race. Of course, it's just a sprint as well, so it's not the full race here. That was a good camera angle through the final corner, seeing all the cars flying by the left-hander. Now through turn 1 and 2. Cook follows the Ferrari, then it's Jamboy, Leo and Joker following through. It's basically teammate behind teammate from P3 to P6. Good there. Toto Barcelona, of course, after a crash, was 10 positions down to P15. But now up towards turn 7. Jambo is starting to lose touch with his teammate a little bit. Now has to look behind for Leo. Leo's gaining ever so slightly, but Diaz is available ever since last lap. And we will see now, after this complex here in Sector 2, if Cook is close enough to the Ferrari. It really does look like it, he is. We also have for P10 still a battle between the Ferrari and the Haas. The Haas is ghosting through the Mercedes. I said Ferrari, I meant Mercedes. And seeing Lewis Hamilton's helmet in the Mercedes really is uncanny in 2025. But now out of turn 13, there was a good exit by the Mercedes. Can you get it together towards turn 14? Missed a number there, turn 14. But let's see back on Cook. Is he close enough to have a look on the Ferrari? Not quite. The Ferrari managed to keep it ahead for just good, close enough. But now Jambo in the back is also right on the rear diffuser of his teammate. Both FDAS, so Jambo won't have the advantage towards turn 1. Nice see through there, keeping himself out of trouble. Ferrocat up in front is still increasing the gap, 4.3 now. Cook still in the air, but he was nearly out of it. 8 attempts. Let's see how much he gains on the straight here. It's only nearly a 10th of a gain. I believe the Ferrari used all of its battery out on that straight. But charging now through this sector here. Out of turn 9. Onto the slight tiny straight here. Towards turn 10. Farms gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll see now. We'll see now on the hairpin of turn 13. From the Ferrari. Towards now turn 14. It seems that Cook calmed himself down a little bit, but I believe the Ferrari also, with the same strategy, that he can't put too much pressure on the Ferrari. He knows that those tires can't make it to the end. There's a yellow flag. That's Harvey in the wall, retiring from the race, and it's just a yellow flag, no virtual safety car or anything. So it's still all race go. We have a bit of a train happening from P11 after sprint Aston Martin. Then it's the Alpine of Juan and the Williams of Love Magnet. Liam gets a 3-second time penalty. And Aston Martin up in front of 9th. Tudo Barcelona gets a penalty but retires from the race. I believe decides that it's hit. That is it for the sprint. And it's we'll have to have a look at that one afterwards. The Ferrari absolutely being very creative with track limits out of turn 7. Silecito, it was not even close. Oh, that's Cook spinning. Oh, and Jamboy brakes for the impact, and Leo hits Jamboy in the back, and Cook, I believe, locked his rears in that corner and spun round. Those rear tires are definitely very warm now. And now, oh, look at that. Leo's front right. That right end plate is missing. He will suffer with grip, with front end downforce now. Let's see how much it will suffer him through the chicanes of 16 and 17. Down the straight. That damage could actually help the Red Bull. Less drag, so more top lane speed. Which in the end might help it on the straight. But look, oh, through the final corner, Leo understeers off the track. And he cannot take the corner normally as he would. So yellow sector 3. Yellow in sector 3. Who could that have been? I believe that is the Aston Martin of Liam. And now it's a both Aston Martin battle here going through turn 3. They are bumping each other through there. Through turn 5. Sprint is in a position where he is under pressure now by the Alpine as well. We might see freeway here towards turn 6. It's turn 7 now. And it's Liam who lost a position at Sprint, stays ahead. They're very close together. But the Alpine now is right on the rear diffuser. Towards now turn 10. Bit of understay there by the Aston Martin, hitting the barrier again. Can the Alpine maybe find a way through this little section here? Now for the happen. It's actually Liam who tried to make a move around the outside but couldn't keep the grip right through turning. And now it's behind, but we see behind Hyper Igniter having a look as well on the Williams of Love Magnet. This is a bit of a train battle here towards the chicane. Now the Alpine looks for the inside. Will he be brave on the brakes? The space has been left, but that is Liam touching the rear end of the Alpine there, hitting it slightly a bit now through the final corner. So now a 3-second time penalty by Liam, but he gets a position. So does the Love Magnet. Gets himself up into P12. And it's a 2. Oh, they're side by side through turn 1. Hitting each other just slightly. And through turn 3, they're still side by side. It's the Alpine on the inside, the Williams on the outside. The Williams backs out of that one. And is by that loses a position back into P13. But we have the Aston Martins up ahead, duking it out. It's Liam who gets a position, but in the back. Look at that. The Love Magnet is not backing out of that. And now it's also Hyper Igniter in it as well. And Juan loses both positions. The Mercedes now is in the mid pack of this. Could maybe get the Williams as well. Up in front, it started to calm down a little bit. This train here, of course, in the midst of the train, there's still the battle between MPA3 Games and Joker. But it looked to me there that the Haas didn't get the S, and this is a connected DS zone. So the Haas does have the DS, I believe, just deactivated a bit earlier. Towards the chicane now, it's the Joker who stays up ahead, but MPA3 Games is showing tremendous pace through there, looking for every gap that he can put his nose in, but lost a bit through there. And Red Bull seems to have just a little bit of a higher downforce setup through the corners. The Red Bull seems to be struggling just a slightly less than the Haas behind, but that could mean a bit trouble on the straights. The Red Bull didn't get the S there from his teammate. He's outside of the S zone. And that is it now. MPA3 Gamers looks for the inside. Did he get the run? Bit of contact happening through there. And the Red Bull slides. But MPA3 Gamers is passed in P6 now. We still have the battle happening in the back between the Williams and the Mercedes. Towards now turn 7. Oh, the Williams still kept the nose in there. The Mercedes had to avoid. Through turn 8 and 9. That was quite a bit opportunistic there, but he kept it together. The Mercedes is passed up into P12. Next target up ahead is Sprint. Liam is running slightly a bit away, but he has all those penalties on the stage. There's another yellow flag in sector 3. That's the House of MB retiring in the pit lane. Towards turn 14. Now onto the straight here. The Mercedes just follows through to the LS Martin. He is in the air, so we might see a battle brewing up between these two. Through the final corners now, the double left-hander. Oh, the Mercedes does the rear and hits the barrier. That could have ended very bad. Leo gets a 3-second time penalty, but that is no damage on the Mercedes. That could have ended worse. And oh no, it is ending worse. The Mercedes is in contact with the Alpine. And oh, these guys are absolutely duking it out on the track. I saw that someone slow down there. That's a Haas. The Haas of MB who retired in the pit lane, but then got to the car, brought out again. Now through turn 7. Mercedes, who was up ahead of these two, now is behind after that mistake in the final corner. And that contact he had with the Alpine. But he's got back past the Lofted. That looked to be the Lofted giving the position. Now towards turn 10. Ooh, and 11 hits the barrier. And that is another car. Farms retiring. Oh no, he's stuck. Where is he? Oh, he's stuck in the pit barrier. And now manages to get through, and I believe this is going to be a retirement here. He does retire from the race. That is quite unfortunate with the retirements happening now in the final lap. Jamboy is very close to them at Ferrari. Ferricat up ahead. Seems to be going for a safe P1. The Loftback gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Can Jamboy get the Ferrari here now? He is behind. He got the DS. He looks for the inside to throw the fence, but couldn't quite manage. And Jamboy, is he brave on the brakes? Keeps it together. The Ferrari loses away a little bit. And Jamboy is up at the P2. Can the Ferrari respond? Through turn 8. Now through turn 9. There's a yellow flag in the back. That's the Mercedes of Hyper Igniter. Also a penalty for El Falcone. But Jamboy seems to be set safe from the Ferrari. While up behind his teammate Kirk seems to be a little under pressure by the Red Bull of Leo. Through the hairpin. It's also MPA3 Gamers right behind. Towards the final long straight. Ferrocat is already on there, going for the final chicane. In the back, Ben W and Falcone are also very close together. But it is Ferrocat who crosses the final corners to win the sprint in Singapore. Jamboy follows in P2. Silecito in P3. Cook in P4. And Leo with a penalty will drop down to P6. MPA3 game in P5. Ben actually managed to get into P6. Leo drops another position. A Falcone also has a penalty. Is in P8 now. Leo in P9. Sprint is going to cross the line. Is it close enough for the penalties to Liam? I don't think so. Sprint gets P10. The Love by P11. With his penalty gets him down to P12. And it is Mercedes getting P11. And the Alpine getting P11. And that's a sprint now. A lot of action happening out here on track. it calmed down by the end of it, but of course on the race we'll see more action. So it's Farocat who won the sprint with Jambo following in P2. Silicito completed the podium P3. Cook lost out of position with a bit of aggressive driving, this time not being in his favor. P4 and P3 gave us a P5. Ben in P6, Leon P7, and Alpha Kono round out our top 8. And now will be a little break to the next qualifying session. With this heat, I would also recommend all the spectators to have a little bit of a hydration break. We will be back very soon. As we're coming now to the qualifying session here in Singapore for the full race. We have a few cars already out, going for the hot lap. 17 minutes. It started with 17 minutes, now it's down to 16 and a half. There's few cars already out on track. It's a Mercedes, currently the first car who got himself out in this on the track, and it's a Mercedes of Alfa Corner. Going through this sector of between the straight of 9 and 10. Bit of a calmer race this one, but also need to be looking forward to how the race goes. Through this shit happen. Of course, it's just an outlap, so not much to worry about. Just getting himself out of trouble, getting those tires warmed, seeing just how, of course, the car handles, getting it prepped for the outlap. In real life, drivers will change all sort of settings in the car to get the car prepped with all those buttons on the wheel. Luckily, the game is set to be more friendly to the players. You don't have to play all too much with the settings in the car, but you can still. And now we see if I could start his lap through turn 1 and 2, all very close to the track limits, but getting just about right. Look also at bottom right with the track. If we see it turn red, it means he inverted his lap time, but slightly tapping the wall down the exit. Now on to the first long straight towards turn 7. Nicely held through there. Of course, purple for the first car, but let's see if we can actually keep it. Towards turn 9. And here is where it's a bit difficult without tapping the wall on the outside. And now turn 10. Very easy to just go too close to the inside or just cut this little corner here. He's kept it together inside the track limit. So now comes the happen of turn 13. very close to the wall, kept it together now onto the long, shorter straight, which then goes to the 90-degree corner of turn 14, and now turn 15 with the DRS open, long straight before the 2023 changes, 24 changes. There was a chicane in there. Pardon me, the change happened in 22. That was years ago. But I'm lost now. But that was my mistake. The change happened years ago. And, of course, back in 21 there was a chicane there. But an extra couple corners there. But Alpha Corner tops the leaderboard currently with a 129.611. Then it's his teammate who crossed the line in the second valid lap. And it's Leo who got the top of the leaderboard, 129.5. We saw pole position be a 128 in a sprint. I'm looking forward to maybe see the same times happen again. NPA 3 games, 129.3. 1 second off the pole time we saw before. We have maybe Kirk going towards the line. 27, 28, and it goes so provisional pole position 129.208. In the back we have Pharaoh Cat, who got it nearly close to his pole time, 128.4, only 1 time slower than what we see before. Very close, but of course there's still a lot of improvement. 12 minutes, still a lot of time to get some laps out. The track also does improve over time. The more the cars drive on it, the grippier it will become. I believe the track starts around 98 surface grip and goes up as the session goes. Of course, the number is just an estimate. I just mean that after at the start of the session, the track grip is not as high as it is at the end. We have a few more cars on the back, sadly, who have invalidated the lap time. The Ferrari of Silicito hasn't, so let's see his lap time through sector 2. Keeping it nice and together. Having also Williams in the back. I believe that's the Williams of the Love Magnet. That is very close to track limit set by the Ferrari. Kept it inside though, running over all of the curb. And you should also be careful not to upset the car too much, else you can easily lose the rear end. This camera angle I quite like, how it's a bit tilted, makes it cinematic. And there's a Ferrari with a purple sector 2. We might see Feral Cat's time actually be under jeopardy here. Towards the chicane, the Ferrari goes. Can he keep it together through here? Can he beat the Williams time through the double left-hander? 127. Oh, just lost it on the last sector. About 3 tenths back behind. 128.747. But the second car who's gone under the 129s in the sprint. We didn't see the Ferrari do it. So improvement is happening all across the board. Who will be next driver to go cross the 29? We have Jambo currently on a lap but hasn't validated. It's I believe an Alpine behind who's on a lap. That could be Juan, so let's have a look. It is Juan. See where he maybe brings that car through turn 13. Interesting the different lines the drivers take through the straight. The camera always is pointing a bit of a different way. Sometimes you see the cars go through the right hand side, sometimes through the left. And Juan looked to take as little road as possible through the chicane now. There's a yellow in sector 2, that's a Ferrari leaving a car by. And now through the double left-hander. Was that over track limit? No, it wasn't, and he pumps himself up into P10. Now it's a Ferrari also, so that's Silicito going slower, not for a good lap, but it's his teammate who hasn't put a lap in yet. Losing it. Dear goodness. There was his teammate up into P3 now. So, well, I heard a barrier tap there by the Aston Martin in the back. Total Barcelona got himself up into P3. Also, the third driver who got himself under the 129th. 9 minutes remaining in the session. We're seeing the competition getting closer and closer. Leo is currently on a lap through turn 4. That was incredible. Turn 5, pardon me. Very on the edge of the car, wobbling a little bit, having to counter steer, catching those slides. Now through turn 7. Taking all of the track, turn 8. Okay, careful not to take too much. You saw cars invalidate here by slightly misplacing their car, but he kept it going through turn 9. And now turn 10. Gets a nice there. Nicely done by the Red Bull. He's going very safely, calmly through those couple sectors. Through the left-hander, right-hander. He's gone purple sector 2. We could see a potential new pole sitter here. Leo could become trouble for our P2 standings driver Jamboy. Of course, Leo was last season round champion, who was in a battle with Cook, and he gets himself up into P3. And just seeing through there, and that is old champion in P3 ahead of our current champion, who is on P6 currently. Cook doesn't seem to be putting all those times anymore. Maybe has partied a little too hard for after getting the championship, that he got him a bit out of line. Well, of course, it is also every driver has ups and downs. Some have good tracks and bad tracks. We don't know if this is one of Cook's worst tracks. It does show on just on a driver's pace if a track suits them or not. For example, Farragut, this seems to be exactly his track, his type of track where he feels the most comfortable in. Just showing that he has set himself again for a provisional pole position, but in the race also being nearly 4 seconds up the grid of P2. Let's see what Cook can do here through turn 1 and 2. Now turn 3. Bit of a difficult complex to get through. There's a famous camera angle where Michael Schumacher counter drift was very much sideways there. A bit good the camera angle shot. Now through turn 7. The racing was keeping it together nice and tidy. He's in purple sector 1. Can he keep it together in sector 2? Maybe Cook is proving me wrong here. Going as fast as he can through here. Of course, your goal is to be the fastest, and often take more risks than you are willing to do. Through now the straight. Let's see on the line. It will be another purple sector. Not quite purple, but he is improved in his personal best. The third sector is so important. Can he bring it on to the pole position time? 5 minutes left to go. Farragut has the left to pits also to now go for an outlap and a fast lap. Can Cook take it? Provisional pole position. Let's have a look towards the line. Yes. No, he doesn't. He does only improve. Gets himself in the 128. Not enough improvement to even compete against Farragut, but he is from P2 to P5. They are basically separated by 0.05 of a second. Very close to competition. Farragut is on a different universe. He is flying. We also have a special one joining in for tonight's race. in the second McLaren, and the first race was just Harvey. If we see a special one currently behind Cook there. Gotta have to especially mention the silver McLaren. We had the silver McLaren since Las Vegas, which was 2 rounds ago. Quite a nice car to see under the street lights and the night sky. Leaving the Williams past. I believe Cerecito was on a lap, but he was nearly 2 times down in his lap. Let's see his teammate, what he can do. He's also not currently improving his lap time, and he crosses the line, no improvement. Very close, 500, and oh, dear goodness, that is a heavy impact. He had enough time to go for another lap. Well, decided himself that it was it. And Farrakhan responds with a better lap time, nearly going under the 128. Incredible! Incredible! Only 700s left to go to the 127. Farrakhan is absolutely in his own world currently and cut himself 7 tenths gap to P2 after Cerecito got himself a personal best as well. And with 2 minutes 40 remaining, I'm really surprised that Tudo Barcelona ended his qualifying that early. Cerecito is not going for another lap. Is the Haas behind? Is on an out lap. Mercedes of Hyper Igniter could be looking to go for a lap, but is 1 second down. I think he was already on a lap. It's a bit difficult to keep track of the car, so currently going through the flag, of course. Enough time to go back to the pit lane, get one final fresh set of tires, go for an outlap and put one final lap in. Jamboy also decides to retire from the session. Many drivers deciding that it's it. I believe it is it for qualifying here. Oh dear. When did that? Whoa. Oh, he's got into the back of the Alpine, which wasn't visible on the shot. I believe it is the end of qualifying here with the final minute. It started to rain. I believe that's the reason why drivers... It's starting to rain. We see raindrops on the screen. Can we have it on board? Yes, it is raining. Well, of course, no improvement left. Farrakhan is the only driver left. And Alfa Corner, there we go. Once Farrakhan retires, it is it for the session. It started raining here in Singapore in the final minute, so no, there's basically nothing left to do for a qualifying session. But this could be interesting. We could be seeing maybe rain in the race. The S disabled. Now we're waiting for Farrakhan to retire, or the 30 seconds to come to an end. There you go. Farrakhan has retired. And so, let's run you down for a top 10. It is Farrakhan in P1 again, pole position. Then it's Cerecito in the Ferrari P2, Leo in the Red Bull P3, ahead of Tudo Barcelona in P4, Cook in P5, Alfa Ocon in P6, MPA3 Gamers in P7. Jambo P8 is what driver really need to keep an eye on. He is fighting Leo for the P2 standings. Liam in P9 and Ben W round up a top 10. Here in Singapore for the full race. 31 laps expected here tonight. Let's see how this will go. All the cars will be on the grid very soon. Drivers will be selecting a strategy. Let's see how long. No formation lap after what happened in Vegas, so we'll be right to lights out. No drivers will have the time to get used to the track. Of course, warm up the tires. So we'll all start on perfect tire temperatures, so that it goes into their favors, and of course no issues with misplacing the car. I believe I'm not seeing any rain, so we could be good. Driver setting up the fuel, changing the tires, looking if some changing anything on the pit strategy, and then we are all set to go for our race here. Three lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's gonna be lights out here in Singapore, and it's go, go, go. And look to be a good start by Sinecito, getting Ferrocat nearly. Leo as well. He got the Ferrari. He says he didn't get a good start, and it's already nearly under pressure. Also the Mercedes off of a corner is under pressure by Cook on the outside. Can Cook keep it together? He got the inside. The Mercedes got defensive there, but can he keep it very aggressive? Not quite. Cook backs out of that one. Jamboy as well got himself back at position. 2 MPA3 gamers. There's also the kick somewhere behind who's looking to maybe gain on the Haas. And this time was a bit of a cleaner lap one that we saw in the sprint. But of course there's so much more on the line now. There's a yellow sector 2. That is Joker dropping down positions. And a McLaren stuck in the barrier of Harvey. And Farms. Oh, Farms takes out the McLaren. And I've seen it firsthand. The McLaren seemed to be ghosted. But for him, what's going on here between the drivers? It is a safety car. Virtual safety car. And that was interesting to say after that big crash. So after that lap one, it will be a full course yellow, pardon me, a virtual safety car for a few minutes. Fums gets a 10-second play for exceeding track limits, but I believe the virtual safety car is off now, and it is Ferrocat. Not quite. I saw a bit of a. That's going quite fast. We'll see by the track. Still full course yellow. The virtual safety car. Some drivers are taking this opportunity to pit. Take their first stop now. Virtual safety car. Leo gets a drive through for speeding, and it's go, go, go. Interesting by Leo. He was just a bit too fast. Tried to keep up with the Williams, so it just happened. The Williams accelerated on the right time, and the Red Bull got caught off guard. And now it's also the Ferrari of having a look nearly to the Red Bull. And in the back, all the cars are very close. As of course, the virtual safety has happened quite early in the race. Everyone following through turn 10, 11, and 12. A bit close together, keeping out of trouble. That Mercedes down there though was looking very optimistic there. But it's Cook who could have a look to maybe get past a Falconer, who got a bad exit after trying to get past the Ferrari. DS has enabled this lap. Can we see Cook try a move through the chicane? Getting a good exit towards the 2 left-handers. The double left-hander. The dirtier could become a bit of trouble following through there. And it's Falconer who got the fastest lap after the virtual safety car. Of course, now this lap is what counts for who gets the fastest lap. Alex off turn 3. Turn 5 now. And it's more of a line now. The other drivers have stopped getting too aggressive for each other. But we might see a Falconer look for a move for the inside of turn 7. Not quite. Backs out of that one. Nearly had the move. Nearly could have put it there. But of course it's early to be risking opportunities like that. Out of turn 9. Oh, that's Cook in the barrier there nearly. tapping the barrier with the rear tires. Through turn 11 and 12. Now 13. It is a retirement by thumbs, and it's a no virtual or safety car, so it is all good racing speed. A Mercedes is very close to the Ferrari still. Following through, and I believe the Ferrari. Oh, we've lost it. We've lost the game. EA has kicked me out. EA has booted me off the game. Thank you, EA. Very, very, very nice. I believe EA has crashed. That's what happened. EA broke. EA broke down. EA. Oh dear. Oh no. EA servers have broken down. I am shocked by this news. EA has broken down. EA is giving me errors. I'm so sorry for this. Technical difficulties. If anyone can put a joke in now, that would be quite helpful. EA is broken down. The app crashed. Thank you, EA, for giving me that crash notice. I noticed that. Sorry for being snarky. I'm so sorry for this. I apologize for the technical difficulties. EA has broken down. Yes. Oh dear. Hopefully I can get it back in time. Luckily I'm able to join back during the race. Cook was very fast to invite me as well. That was quite nice to see. So I've been booted. I apologize for these issues. I will be looking for the issues very soon on why this actually happened. Hopefully we are not missing too much of the race. Okay, we should be back very soon. Actually, I do. No, we. damn it. Um. Oh dear.
Awesome drive, Lewis. Awesome drive, mate.
There's some jump scare there. Pardon me.
Still we rise, guys. Still we rise.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hopefully I'll be back. I'll be back. It's lap 7 out of 31, and I believe we are able to be back to go back to the race. Pardon me for these issues. We should be back right about now. We are back. I do apologize for that. And we're joining into a safety car with the grid that with Silecito being in the lead, Ferrocat in P4. What is Tour de Barcelona retired? Apologies, we have missed out. Okay, so we're back in the race on the safety car. 11 is lap 7 out of 31. I apologize for that little mishap that happened there. Sorry for missing out this big action here. Silecito is in the lead. Juan in P2, which interesting how that happened. And Leo P3 and Ferrocat in P4. I believe either was involved in the incident or has gone for an early stop, which we can figure out by looking at stops. And it is Ferrocat who has done one pit stop. All the drivers ahead haven't. And it's safety car in the slap. It's safety car in the slap. And we'll be back. Back into racing action very soon. And it will be Silecito taking the action. Look at that. There's a traffic jam happening right behind. Could get a 10-second timer for a severe collision with Sprint F1. And Silecito got the jump. Incredibly well done there. Caught Juan out. And interesting there, got a good restart out of the safety car. Juan didn't respond quite in time, and now we have nearly a second gap. But it is Ferrocat. We're gonna have a look on how fast he can jump ahead. Also, quick, interesting with the penalties. We see Leo have a 10-second time penalty either for severe collision or speeding and pitting. And because he hasn't pitted, I do count it might have been a severe collision under the safety car. And Jambo being in P11, there's still a good competition between the Red Bull and the Racing Bull for P2 in the standings, and it is already Ferrocat getting up. So now towards the chicane of turn 13. Oh, Ferrocat already they tried to push away past the Alpine onto the back straight. No DS available yet. Will be next lap. Don't mind this the top left. Let's see if we can fix it. But okay, so it does say safety car. It is not safety car. It's just a visual glitch. Towards now the final chicane, towards the double left-hander. Williams was looking for the inside there nearly, but backed out of it. Got a good run down double chicane and got past the Alpine. Of course, fresher tires as well. The Alpine tried it nearly down the inside, but Ferrocat left him a car width for space and now back. Now the final car up ahead he needs to overtake to get back into the lead is the Ferrari of Silesito. He is in the S zone, so it shouldn't be too much of a trouble following through. Down towards turn 7, the Ferrari defends the inside, the Ferrari pushes the Williams out of Ferrocat and is using everything in his power to keep that Williams behind. And Williams is not quite happy. He sticks at with the diffuser like glue towards now turn 10. Williams is just behind, looking for the first opportunity he can find. He knows he's faster. He has the pace. He has the tire advantage. He's gonna look for the inside of 13, not quite, but he could be looking for the down under for the better exit. And with the DS enabled, now it being a connected DS zone, he doesn't need to look. He doesn't need to find a way behind. He gets a good another down under, side by side again with the DS. Easily goes past with those extra horsepower and goes back to the lead of the race. In P6, we have a battle between the Haas and the Aston Martin towards the chicane. On the inside, that's the Haas, and he gets back past the Aston Martin. Now it's a Ferrari as well, the Mercedes of El Falcone as well, and the kick Sauber of Ben involved. And it is El Falcone getting past it. And behind that's Jambo also going down the inside of the kick Sauber and looking to maybe even have a look on the Aston Martin. The kick Sauber and the racing of Jambo, they've been rubbing each other on the straight, hitting, bumping into each other like it's bumper cars, and it's a kick Sauber back up in front. Incredible. Towards now the turn 7, and it does seem that the kick Sauber this has that defensive power that Jambo just cannot break through. And Ferrocat is already gone into next week. 2 seconds early ahead of the Ferrari. Ferrocat absolutely loses no time to run away. Ferrocat is looking to make this a double whammy here in Singapore. And it is Ben W nearly having a look to the Aston Martin. He will have the DS advantage. The Aston Martin just get barely out of it. So looks for the outside. We see a down under, not quite. The Aston Martin defends the inside, and it's passed by the kick Sauber. And will Jambo have a soon way pass as well? To the outside he goes. Goes past, but will the Aston Martin be brave on the brakes? Yes, he will. Just a bit too brave. And nearly pushing Jambo off the road. They are bumping into each other. That is a sign that Jambo is not happy at all. Down the main straight, Jambo tucks behind. Maybe has a look now for the inside. Not quite. Jambo stays back for now. For P2, Cook is very close to Silesito. Could be having a look now after the S. Round the outside, could easily done. Lick the step aside in the back. Huge incident. That's a big incident, and that's El Falcone out of the race, and the safety car is out. Wow, that was huge. I saw the Aston Martin, pardon me, the Mercedes, just being collected by an Alpine, and absolutely into the barrier, disintegrated the whole front of the car. And that must have been a scary incident. Involving, I believe I saw an Alpine, but it couldn't have been. Might have been either the McLaren or the Aston Martin behind, but it was involved. Bit of contact between there. And El Falcone absolutely smashing it into the barrier. And there's another safety car. Second safety car of the race. Third full yellow across the track. Will we see drivers take this chance for not pit stop opportunity? There are a few drivers in. Let's have a look who it all is. And it is Silecito, Juan, Cook, Leo and Joker deciding to take this chance to pit under the safety car. And it is Ferrocat in the lead. Only behind the sake of MPA3 gamers behind as well. Ben in P3 after an absolutely amazing race. Let's see if this will work. And in the back, the guys who have pitted now basically have completed. They have completed the final stop of the race. Let's see if this will also help them to get a good run for the second half of the race. And behind the safety car now, so of course they can save the tires as much as they can want. The more they save, the better it is. Behind the safety car, so it's going to be another lap behind the safety car. Still not much happening here. Of course, it is just for all the drivers to catch back up behind. Penalties still being handed out. Joker has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, for track limit warnings. The Williams just behind the Aston Martin. All the cars have caught back up, so will be race from this point on. From next lap, the session will go in, and it will be Ferrocat taking it away in the Williams with MPA3 gamers following, and then Ben W. Or Ben. I keep saying Ben W because I do mean Ben. Safety car in this lap, set by race control, so it is gonna be the Williams taking it away. Let's see when he takes a jump, drops the hammer, and let's see where he maybe even drops the Haas. He's being a little bit of a tease here, accelerated but then stopping. Weaving to get temperatures in the tires. And now he's going for the outside. The Haas is already ready. That's a very late drop. And could this work? Yes, the Martin. Pardon me, the Haas just barely lost a bit of touch, but behind Ben had to only defend from the Aston Martin. And Jambo got himself up into P4, side by side. Oh, there's contact between the two. And there's a car in the barrier off in the back. And it is Jambo getting up into P4. After a good restart, Ben couldn't keep him behind. And Jambo is on the outside. Maybe the kick Sauber could have a look back. Ferrocat has left the session. internet issues, maybe the same issues I had. Can Falcat join back? He lost one position. His game might have crashed, or he's got disconnected like I did. But whatever has happened, it is heartbreak. He's dropping 9 positions. It's MPA3 Games now leading this race with Jambo in P2 and Ben in P3. I'm at a loss of words. This race has already gone all sorts of ways, wrong and right, depending on who you ask. And Feral Cat is dropping down position after position. He's now down into P7. The last thing he wants is the AI to go into pit lane, and he doesn't, thank goodness he doesn't decide. Has happened to him in Saudi Arabia, where he lost the win, or a podium, because he got disconnected, and his AI went into the pit lane, and Juan, same thing happened, also disconnects. EA is currently having a lot of issues. Who knows who else will be involved in these EA shenanigans. Ben is looking to stay behind Jamboy, looking to maybe get past one of these corners. Or maybe one of these slabs as well. It's a good chance for Jamboy to defend it, but the kick Sauber has the DS advantage. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Who could that be? It is. It's Cook involved. And Cook is down in P14. It's the first time we've ever seen Cook having trouble this big in a race weekend. Very lucky that he's having these troubles after he's won the championship, but that's the first time we've seen him ever be this slow in the grid because of personal mistakes. Up in front, Ben still in the DS of Jamboy. Towards the chicane we go, and the kick Sauber just follows through. No trouble through there. In P6 we also have a special one after a good weekend, joining in a bit late. Juan is back in the game. Feral Cat on the other hand still seems to be struggling. MB had no straight line speed that we saw. Leo getting past very easily with the DS advantage as well, of course. But in the back, for P11, we have a few cars. That's a Mercedes with unspeakable damage at the front, which I believe is just a visual glitch. He is driving like he has the whole front wing, but that is not what a Formula 1 car should look like. If your Formula 1 car looks like that, call 1-800 please fix. Because a Formula 1 car is not supposed to look like that. Big front end, the front nose is missing from the Mercedes. But it is driving like it has no damage. Could we maybe see a battle between the Love Magnet and Hyper Igniter? It's very close in, and I have to keep the camera on this different looking Mercedes. But that looks to be a good corner entry. The shadow indicates that the front wing is still there, so it does seem the Mercedes still has all the performance. Down towards the right hand of turn 14. He looks for the inside, has managed to pressure the Williams into a mistake, and now if the DS could have a look for the outside, side by side towards the chicane, and the Mercedes gets past without a front wing or front nose for that fact. Incredible overtake, nice done with the dummy on the inside for turn 14. That's Liam getting his time penalty for multiple warnings, but now it's in the back. The Loftman now under pressure by Cook, who could get to this Mercedes as well. Cook currently getting past into turn 1 of the Williams, and is already on attack distance to the Mercedes to now turn 5. About halfway through the race, and it's still all action on board here. And the Mercedes ahead is also getting very much closer to MB in the Haas. We could see a freeway battle brewing up here. The Mercedes is right on the rear end. The rear diffuser off the Haas. Down towards turn 10. Mercedes makes itself visible in the mirrors. Very close there, nearly hitting the back end. Might be a visual glitch, but that front wing still exists. He can still break it. Towards turn 13. Oh, a bit of a loss of rear end there. Twice he caught the car though. And it's Cook now for the outside. Can he get past? But drag race through turn 14. Oh, Cook is still there on the outside. Does he have to grip? The Mercedes lost the position, but now he's in the back behind with the slipstream. Could maybe use a bit of battery. And now Cook maybe could have a look past the Haas. And the Haas made a bit of a mistake. And now Cook looks for the inside. Can he actually keep it to go for the inside off turn of the final two corners? Cook is still behind, but now the DS is looking for the inside. And Cook gets past with the DS assisted help. And now it's still a freeway battle, but Cook now needs to look behind because the drivers behind him now have the assist of the DS. Of the drag reduction system. But Cook got through that corner quite fast, and now the Haas needs to only look behind because Mercedes is still in attack range there. Looking for P9 is Hyper Igniter. Up in front for P3 we said if we have a battle here. Oh, the Ferrari! Oh dear, was there, but the kicks up as well. Goes at the back end of the Ferrari, and is there damage involved? It's a bit difficult to see from this angle, but I believe the Ferrari might be suffering from slight end front wing damage. On this camera, oh, but that's a very optimistic move, and oh dear! The kick sober, right goes right into the rear end of the Aston Martin. And the stewards will definitely have a look at that one after the race. The Ferrari was down the inside, but was the space there? We might not know. And that is Jamboy hitting the barrier, but goes into the pit lane. So does Ben. A Falcone retires from the race. Has Farrowcat returned? No, his game, either his game was completely shut down and doesn't have a way back, or he has given up, which I believe might be the actual answer to his problem. In the back, in front, we have Ben and Jambo going to pit lane and switching up the grid quite a bit. And for here, for P5, with the battle between Special One and Cook. Special One has a bit of front wing damage there. Also the outside. Is he given a position? I believe he has not getting trouble. There's a crash in the back. Who is that? That is Joker. Out of the race, out of turn 5. Retiring from the race after, I believe that was a spin. If we can maybe have a different look of the damage on the cup, I believe. And that has a front wing, but he has spun out and does retire from the race like that. So let's get back to the racing action here. We have in the back for P8 and 9 still a battle. And the Mercedes is just in front, and I believe he's got his front wing back. Front nose back. Did he? No, he's not. He's still running without a front nose. The Mercedes engineers have decided that that is the optimum way to run an F1 car. And as we see now on track, the Mercedes is absolutely flying. He's up into P7. Absolutely spectacular 6 positions gained from the start of the race. Well, the F1 teams look at this. I mean, it works. And if it works, it works. What can you say? He's gaining up ahead as well in the back. Another car, Liam in front, has gone to the pit lane for his stop. Let's have an eye on our pit stops that have currently happened. One stop across. Hyper has gone for 2 stops, so Hyper is set for the end of the race. So we could see this Mercedes maybe go just up a few more positions with Special One in front who might need to pit one more time. And maybe our top 3 drivers, depending on what strategy they're on, could also be looking for one more stop. But it is the Mercedes on a good strategy here, just slowly creeping up positions. And for P7 we have the Alpine just behind, creeping in, getting closer. It's in the DS range as well. But as much as the Alpine is closing in, the Mercedes in front is closing into the McLaren, as we just saw there. The Mercedes just needs to find a way to defend from the Alpine without losing time to the car ahead. He's already nearly down to second. This is a connected distance, so the Mercedes will not have the advantage of the S, but he is gaining temps per corner. That was a bad corner exit by the Alpine. Lost him a lot of time. Now towards the chicane. Let's have a look back on the Mercedes. He's in the DS detection range for the start-finish straight. There's also Cook in front. There's a McLaren pitting, and Hyper promotes himself up into P6. Apparently P5. 8 positions gained from the start of the race. It's an incredible strategy going here by the Mercedes. I'm incredibly happy that we are able to show this on camera. Oh dear, that's a loss of rear end. A massive loss of rear end. And the Alpine is only looking for the inside. Oof, dear goodness. There's a Mercedes really spinning out of the race. But now he's behind the Alpine and can use the slipstream to its advantage to just stay with the Alpine towards turn 7. Now could come back for the Mercedes for the next couple straights. He will have the advantage. Just another retirement in the pit lane. That's a McLaren now, causing a yellow flag, and that's a McLaren, a special one. Not a retirement, just caused a yellow flag. That's interesting enough. However, it was the Mercedes, the McLaren or the Aston Martin who's gone through the same sector, but oof. The Mercedes seems to be underseeing quite a bit. I believe it did indulge just a little bit of damage. Damage that we can't see, of course. And it does seem the Alpine up ahead has run away. Might be on the better tire strategy, just on better tire life. So the Mercedes just doesn't seem to be following quite as close. MPA3 Gamers is in the pit lane, and so Silecito goes past. The Haas now pulls in, and the Mercedes of Hyper could be close enough to get that position now. Look on the inside there, right hand side. Let's have a look. Where will the Mercedes come out? Ahead of MPA3 Gamers. And with this, if the top 2 pit as well, the Mercedes could promote itself up into P2. Sad to see that he's lost out to the Alpine. He could have maybe fought for P2. Cook, on the other hand, is looking, after all this, maybe could be going for a win. How does he do it? Yeah, goodness, we lost again the game. EA is having a bit of an issue here, but how does Cook do it? At the start of the race, it did not look like to go into his favor, but now if Leo and Silecito up ahead pit for the final stop, Cook is going to promote himself back into the lead of the race. Incredible. This is a masterclass. Jambo in the back, getting past the Mercedes on the outside, getting past quite with a little trouble, and with the S now has a chance to slightly run away towards the chicane. Hyper sadly starting to lose out of a few positions, gets a 3-second time penalty and might be under trouble now by MPA3 Gamer behind, who's pitted from P2, and so his podium hopes are starting to slightly lose out. Up in front though, the strategy is looking medium, and I believe those are medium tires on the Ferrari. If we could maybe have a better look. It's hard compound, so the Ferrari could maybe be looking for one stop, and Silecito could be looking to bring it till the end. Leo, on the other hand, might have more trouble bringing it to the end in this tire compound, and so Cook could have a chance to promote himself up into P2 if Leo pits. Silecito, on the other hand, is a difficult call to make if he does pit or not. But looking now for the hairpin turn 13, In the back for P7. Mercedes is starting to drop down. There's MP3 gamers who overtook him now as well. Mercedes on those hards are starting to lose, and it is noticeable on the on traction zones how much he is just losing out. Ben and Liam are following behind as well, very close, and might be soon that they're getting in attack range as well. So towards the chicane, Jamboy might have made a mistake there. Juan rejoins just side of him, but still side by side action. It's still side, but it's a drag race. They are sticking to each other like glue. What has happened there on the inside? Leo, I saw a car stopped. I believe it was just Leo in the pit lane. No, oh dear, there's a Mercedes there, going all sorts of ways. And the Aston Martin behind retiring from the race. Liam has retired. Not Liam, Sprint has retired from the race. And that is, who is that round in the back? That is a Mercedes round in the back. And I believe that no front nose is not running great anymore as it did before. And it's starting to show him a bit of... I'll drop that act. It is just a visual glitch. The Mercedes is starting to maybe lose out grip from tire usage from worn tires, but now Leo right behind, who has pitted doing all this. So Leo promotes himself up into P8, but the Mercedes don't make it easy. But he knows it's not his battle, and so the Red Bull goes past. Cook is now into P2. Let's have a look also on the penalty that Silesito has. Silesito has a 10-second time penalty. Cook is a provisional leader currently. Again, how has he done it? It is incredible. It is a masterclass of a race happening by Cook. Even if the odds are against his, he turns it around. His teammate behind, with how he's going, is securing himself that P2 place from Leo in the Red Bull. 6 laps to go around, so we're closing on to the dying stage of the race. And it's Silesito currently on track leading, but Cook leading with once the penalties get cashed in at the end of the race. So Cook at the start of the race was basically down in last place after serving his 10-second penalty, which he got doing a safety car while being in a strong position up in front. And now he's back up there. He's got himself incredibly well done after all the safety car calls that has happened. He's got himself back up there. And oh, Jambo hits the barrier on the inside. Not close enough to have a look at MPA3 Gamers after that slight mistake there. One more lap maybe for him to get past into the podium position, but he has a 3-second time penalty, so he needs to look to also gain those 3 seconds afterwards. Towards the chicane, the final chicane in sector 3. Jambo is just ever so slightly losing out. There's a yellow in sector 3. That's a kick Sauber of Ben. Rejoining back. Did he suffer damage from that mistake? The kick Sauber seems to be intact, all in one piece. So goes back to driving more, looking out for those tires. Careful of a spin like that or a mistake like that. The tires can overheat, losing your grip. You need to worry about that as well after mistake. Liam ahead is very close to the Alpine of Juan. Towards turn 7. For the inside, a bit aggressive. Is he brave on the brakes? Can he make the corner? Yes, he does, and promotes himself up into P5. Very well done there. That was a perfectly calculated move. Very late as well. But he's managed to make it pass very easily, but not now. Can the Alpine maybe respond back? But it doesn't seem like it. The Aston Martin has time to move by a perfection, and he's already nearly a second more ahead The Alpine behind just had no pace following behind, and so Liam promoted up to P5. In front, Cook is trying to gain nearly a second to Silesito. This lap he gained about 7 tenths, 6 to 7 tenths. We'll see once across the line. There's about 6 tenths gained. And with the laps left, Cook might not be close enough for an overtake on track, but he is definitely safe for the penalty behind. There's a Mercedes going slow. That is a Mercedes of Hyperignite, and sadly the no front nose Mercedes retires from the race. 4 laps to go. With 4 laps to go, the Mercedes retires from the race. MPA3 Gamers is closing in on Cook. Cook really needs to keep this position if he wants to win the race, but MPA3 Gamers might not make it easy for him. Towards turn 10, Jambo behind is also slowly catching on again to this pair here. Cook just needs to keep it together, but the Haas just seems way more confident on those tires, and Cook might not be able to get the win, but he is sure to get the podium. The Haas is on the inside, side by side, and now the Haas could get it with the DS. Will the Racing Bull use its battery towards the chicane? And it is MPA3 Gamers promoting himself up into the leading position. Up in front, I believe Silesito's made a mistake, as even with this little battle, they've nearly gained a second to the Ferrari. Cook is still in the DS detection zone for the straight here. Can get himself still very close. Might not be close enough for an attack, but sure could maybe look to hope for a mistake up in front to sneak back past. Back to how Cook drives these races, just keeping himself out of trouble and just sliding past if mistakes ahead happen. Keeping your head down. He tried a different strategy in the sprint. He tried a different strategy at the start of the race. But I believe he's gone back to his usual strategy now. 3 laps to go, and it is Silesito leading the race. And Ferrocat, sadly, sad to see, after absolutely dominating the sessions, disconnecting from the game. And I believe that happened because of issues. I have fixed my issues. Ferrocat couldn't fix his issues, and so his final race of the season ends like that. But now we have the 2 Racing Bulls battling here. This would have been an interesting battle last week round. This could have been for the championship still, but Cook knows that Jamboy is not in the contention anymore. Cook has been crowned champion last week round, and now it's just for his teammate to get as many points to be safe to Leo. But as it goes now, Jamboy is very safe from losing that P2 position. And with 2 laps to go now, and it's Silesito, absolutely Silesito leading, but he is gonna lose out to the podium position as Jamboy got him, as Cook is still in that podium position. Jambo, even with his 3-second time penalty, is inside of the 10-second penalty of Silesito. So sad to see, after an incredible race driven by the Ferrari, it will be lost out with a penalty. The podium will be lost out with a penalty. So the dying stage of the race, we have a battle for P8. Leo could get past Ben here. He has the fresher tires. He knows he has the pace. Can he get past in this final few laps of the final race of the season? Through turn 10, 11 and 12 complex. Now towards turn 13. He has a DS, but is he close enough to attack? He is charging his battery and might not be looking to attack now, but very soon He has made a mistake this lap, 2.5 seconds lost, so Ben, I believe, is now looking to get his position back to the kick Sauber. Silesito started the second to final lap, the penultimate lap of the race. And, oh, that's a Red Bull going sideways. Those soft tires might be on the final laps of their life. 2.5 seconds lost this lap. Did Leo. I believe those tires are very close to the end of the strong suit. Up in front, Silesito could become under pressure from MPA3 Gamers. Of course, he knows that he is already virtual leader of the race, with the penalties being cashed in after the race. Jamboy as well will be up in P2. Silesito with the Italian helmet and the Ferrari. A better combo you might not see. Special one has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And a battle with the Love Man on track with a 16-second penalty. Might not be much of a battle for position. Not for the lead of the race. We might see a switch before the final lap of the race. Now, the Ferrari might not have the S the Haas has, so he looks for the inside towards the chicane. And he goes past. Jamboy behind is also in range to maybe have a look at the final lap, but we have a new lead of the race for the final lap of the race. It is MPA3 Gamers. He has shown great potential this season. He has also won a handful of races and now leads into the final lap of the race. There is Farrellcat. Rest in peace for his race after getting disconnected. Very sad. Farrellcat would have probably been in this battle, lead or maybe even ahead with his pace, but it all falls apart so easy. In sim racing, you are not very safe from issues still that in real life you might not see. Maybe in the game there is a suspension failure or engine failure, but of course there is still other types of failures that can happen specific to simulations, and Farrellcat sadly has become a fallen soldier of one of these issues. And as I said, a Jambo could be looking to get the position to the Ferrari side by side, and oh, there's a hit off the barrier. Jambo a bit aggressive to get past that position, but he gets the position after all. And the Ferrari down in P3 now, but with his penalty will be demoted down to P5. Cook still in P3 after all of this. Could still get himself a podium position, but it is Silesito who will lose all this at the end. But one driver who's come out on top is MPA3 Gamers, who crosses the final two left-handers to win in Singapore for the final time. He's done it. Jamboy into the barrier to get P2. Silesito will be demoted down to P5. Cook gets P3. The final podium position, Liam in P4. Juan will cross the line for P6. Ben for P8, I believe, as Leo will be promoted to P7 for P9. And it will be MB. Will it be MB? It could be that the Love Matter could promote himself up into the points position, P9. If he stays where he is now, MB crosses the line. Then the McLaren. Where's the Love Matter going to be? The Love Matter got P10. MB gets P9. And this is how the final race of the season ends in the Season 4 Out Racing League. In Season 4. A triple British podium. Congratulations to all the drivers. Congratulations to MPA3 Gamers having managed to get an amazing race. Jamboy gets himself in P2 after an amazing race as well. And Cook, how does he do it to still get himself in the podium position? He could have nearly gone for the win of the race, but didn't have the pace to sadly back up in the final laps. But of course, a champion. He's already been crowned champion. He has already proven that he is worthy of the top spot. And it is Race winner, MPA3 Gamers. Fastest lap goes to Silenzito in the Ferrari. Driver of the day, according to the game, is Juan. Most overtakes go to Special One. And the cleanest driver, of course, who else will it go to other than HB Cook? Our champion gets that cleanest driver award again. Maybe it's going to be like Sebastian Vettel. Maybe he's going to get those jelly beans afterwards as a reward. So it's MPA3 Gamers 2-1, Jambo in P2, Cook in P3, Silenzito in P4, Liam in P5, Falcon in P6, Leo in P7, Juan in P8, Ben in P9, and MB round up a top 10 for the final time this season. And I believe before it is a goodbye, we might have interviews for the end of the season for our top 3 drivers for the race, but also our championship deciding order. We will find out very soon. So looking forward to see here. I'm waiting for the message for the green light if there will be interviews or not. Of course, it can also be decided that no interviews after a heated race. We don't want the drivers to say the wrong thing still under adrenaline. And the chat does seem a bit heated, so I believe it could be a bit of a might not be interviews here. I'm not seeing any messages, so I believe this will be it. Quick asking as well. Waiting for confirmation. There could still be interviews, but it really does depend if the drivers do feel up for it. So Cook is willing to go for an interview, so let's have a look now. And now we're here. It does say push to talk. Interesting. So we are here now. And interesting. Let's have a look. If our champion of season 4 will join us for the interview or not. it is still discussed if we might have the interviews or not, and I believe we do. Ben joining me here tonight for the interviews. It is push your talk here, so you might have to bind it.
Oh, we got.
Here we go. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah.
Alright, so Ben, these are interviews for the end of the season, and basically do want to ask one or two questions to see how the season ended for the drivers as well. So, you and the Kick Sauber, did the season go how you expected it?
I wasn't expecting much this season. I won't lie. I kind of knew I was struggling a bit when I should say, the season first started. That was probably one of the better races. I had better pace. They were all keeping up with Jamboy for quite a while. On the podium for some time, but ended up deciding my tyres couldn't make it to end. As the season progressed, I felt alright. I think I got caught up in some incidents, but that's racing.
Pardon me, the quality of the microphone was a bit iffy. I think I caught a bit of it, saying how the season didn't go exactly how I wanted. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so, of course, it is basically, F1 is a bit of ups and downs. You cannot predict how it is. So, are you happy with the position you ended up with in the standings? I believe you just managed to get yourself promoted up into P7 in the standings. Is that where you expected to end up after a season like this?
I would have liked to be in third up, as we always do, but I think a 2-week break ended up killing my chances of finishing in the top 5, which was always going to be the aim. But then again, we've got some really quick drivers in here, so including the champion, who's listed to be.
Yeah. Any points of the season that stood out for you?
Singapore. Singapore, I don't think I even scored a podium this season. That's how bad it was.
I believe he did score a podium.
Yeah?
As far I remember, it was at the first half of the season.
It was that long.
But
I can't remember. If I did, so that's a highlight. Although, it's probably me crashing too many times and getting too many penalties.
Oh, interesting to hear that Singapore is the outstanding moment of the season. After, of course, the champion being crowned in Imola, this race was more a battle for the midfield to gain those final points. And interesting to hear that your thoughts here are. Do you have any final words from your end?
I think I was quite unlucky this season as well. So we look finally taming a bit with Sam having a few incidents who I'd fighting championship with. I think I ended up keeping good pace for Liam. So yeah, not bad to be fair. Just a bit of carnage, a couple of safety cars. I think I ended up getting caught up in a spin or something, but yeah, not bad.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for competing in this championship, and looking forward to seeing you next season round. Maybe, hopefully, with a bit of better luck. Of course, F1 and racing is a luck game. It's nothing. It's no way to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
All right, so I believe who wants to go up next for the interviews? We have Jamboy, we have Cook, and the Love Magnet. So one of the three. Who wants to go first?
I think I'll do it while I'm trying to sort their issue out.
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, go on, Kyle. I'll let you go. Mate,
No,
you have fun. You have fun. I let champion go last.
Champion goes last.
Alright, have fun.
Alright, so the Love Magnet and the Williams this season. Any outstanding? I'm gonna go with this question first. Any outstanding moments for you this season?
I mean, to be honest with you, getting 16 points on the board come the end of the season, I think's a decent outcome. I think it's fair to say in terms of the rest of the grid, my pace is pretty much off it. But to finish on 16 points is a good outcome for the season overall.
What was the point of the season which you remember quite fondly of?
I mean, the Australia race was a good race. I think that was a P7. The Abu Dhabi race, again, the pace felt there for one of the few races of the season. To be honest with you, the sprint race today was a good sort of 3 to 5 man battle, which was obviously enjoyable. I think sometimes when you're at the back of the grid, you end up driving around on your own a bit, and it's a bit of a long evening. But tonight's race, especially, there was a lot of good battles from my perspective.
Indeed, we caught some on the stream as well on the broadcast. We had a bit of a good race tonight, even if I believe you finished just outside the points, but even with it was still an incredible weekend, weekend tonight here for you. Starting the season, did you finish what you expected, or did the season not go, or maybe even go better than you expected?
I think from a personal position, probably went better. In terms of the pointings, I appreciate a lot of the races where the points come from heavy retirements and penalties, but you've just got to do what you can do. But I think from a team perspective, I think Farrell would have liked to have partaken in a few more races, and I think had he have been there, the Williams team would have probably got a lot more points. I think he had an issue with his connection in the race today. Otherwise, he would have probably picked up some good points at the end. But yeah, I mean, it's been another enjoyable season.
Yeah, the incident with your teammate, sadly, getting the win, getting pole in the sprint, then winning, getting pole in the race, but then getting disconnected. That must have felt like a heartbreak. Have you talked to your teammate yet, or?
Yeah, he's messaged me after and sort of apologised. I mean, it's not his fault the connection's gone, but he was pretty, to be honest, I think pretty confident he would have got another win. He was enjoying this evening. I think since he's come back in and he's been actively racing, he's had some really strong races, and I suspect if he's there for the season next season, then he's probably likely to be one of the ones to look out for. And I suspect he would be my tip to win it next season if he's there for most of the races.
Absolutely. Your teammate in the Williams, Farrell Cat, absolutely has shown great potential when he was driving, of course. As racing goes, as we heard from Ben, racing has luck included, and having issues with EA, as I myself had tonight, it is just part of the racing aspect. And well, hopefully next season we will see Farrell Cat and maybe you with your team, if you're still being with the teammates for next round, see good potential maybe at the top, maybe even fight Kirk, Jamboy, and Leo. Of course, I was quite close there for the entirety of the season, and let's have a look how next season round goes. Any final words from your end?
No, I think just thank you again for doing the commentary this season, and then hopefully we can kickstart again in a few weeks.
Hopefully so, yeah. Thank you so much. And I believe next comes Jamboy, P2 finisher in the standings and a great competitor against Cook, the two racing bulls. So, Jamboy, any outstanding moments of the season?
Probably just my only win that I had this season, and like proper 50% race win. First race of the season. That was a good one. That was like my first race return to league racing from like a 2-year break. So I did pretty well in that race, yeah.
Did the season go how you expected it, fighting for the championship, or were you hoping to get the championship at the end?
When I first started, I didn't really expect much. I thought I was going to be just a decent driver. But as the races progressed, I realised that I could have a chance at it, but I essentially bottled it. So I'll go again next year.
Oh, that's a mentality right there. Saying, this year, learning experience next year, that's where it goes. After 2-year break, I mean, very much applaud for your race pace, how it went. Even with only one win under your belt, fighting for the championship, that is just how close the championship actually is. And with your teammate being one that has fought for the championship last season round as well against Leo, you had to fight against big shoes. And, well, as we heard, as you already answered my third question, if it went better, if you expected this or not, well, what I mean, do you have anything to say after the season?
I think I could have done a lot better this season. I think I bottled a few races. So if as long as I can not bottle the races next season, I'll hopefully win it or have a really good chance at it.
Yeah, next season round will be on the same game as well, not like last season was on the F124 game. So all the experience from this season will come over to the next one. Hopefully, looking forward to see you at the top again. And pretty much my question has been answered. Do you have anything to say? Final words?
Not really. Thanks for doing the commentary, like the other bloke said. I forgot his name. But thanks for doing that this season. I chuck it on the iPad while I'm racing, just to have a little watch, and it's really good, mate.
Thank you. I think tonight's race you might not want to look at the tablet after the EA issues that I've gone through. I've missed the safety car. Why it happened? Actually, that comes by. What has happened in the first set? Why has the safety car been called? Could you maybe answer that for the broadcast?
I honestly can't remember, to be honest. Can't remember who caused it or what. It's probably just someone being a bell end and crashing into the wall.
Could have figured, but well, we have missed a Y and we joined in during the safety car, sadly, with the EA issues. But in the end, we didn't miss too much of the race, luckily.
Exactly.
Thank you, John Boy. Enjoy that P2 finish, even if it just does hurt slightly with the salt on the wound, missing out. But enjoy that P2, and hopefully see you come back stronger for next season round. Congrats still for those strong finishes.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
And now we're coming to our champion of season 4, Henry Cook.
That's all. Response enough.
Dude,
Okay, start.
already giving us some insight on the race here. How did the race go?
I think that was the craziest race I think I've been a part of. Personally, I had a sprint where I think one of the Ferraris decided he wanted to keep hitting me and trying to pass me, like to push the pass. And Tyre just felt shocking. Now I'm a bit frustrated. Didn't feel like I had the pace that I had all season. Weren't battling where I normally am. But you've got to take it, and then, I got took out in the race. I got 10-second pen for the most slowest restart I think I've ever seen. So you take it, and even though the game tries to put you back, you just got to push forward. And I think Tyre's on 80% end at race and ended up finishing P3 is something that I can look back on and say, right, that's been a really good race. Let's push on that for next season.
Yeah, exactly. That's very good to see that even after a lot of trouble, you managed to get the. I said during the broadcast as well. How do you do it after everything taken against you? You brought it back. You could have even gone for the win. You had the shot at the win as well, but you were up there as one of the best again for tonight. One question I want to ask you specifically, something I noticed during the season, your style is different than what we're seeing across the grid. You are one that is more laid back, not aggressive in driving, very calm, and you get yourself out of battles and only let everything around you happen. Is that your style, or was it just did it just happen unintentionally?
I think that's always been my style. I think if you look back to last season when I was battling Leo for the title, I think that was my same then. What I do is basically, if people are pushing hard, I just wait and I wait for the opportunity to come to me. Racing's always going to be a contact sport, no matter how you look at it. So if you just sit there and wait for the right moment, as we saw at tracks like Monaco when Liam spun, and Australia when Russell spun, used to be at the right place, right time. And I think the main thing is if you don't hit track limits, then that can benefit you in the long run. You can gain so many positions even if you end up the pace straight away. So yeah, it's something that I think I've looked at myself and done. That's mainly where I work best. So if I don't push it, like I tried Abu Dhabi to push it, I don't know if you were seen it, and I don't involve an incident. So I thought let's not do that again. Let's just stick to what we know best, and managed to win title last race, which was a surprise. Didn't expect to be up here this season, but yeah, we'll take it. But yeah, it's definitely something I've actually put into my brain that that's how I drive. That is my style compared to other people.
Interesting. That and in the end it worked out. I mean, just letting everything happen around you, taking the opportunities. The game basically after every race, I've seen your name under cleanest driver, and in the end, it was just a consistency that brought you to the champion now. And even if it might not be the optimal strategy tonight, this season it worked out for you. Tommy, I want to ask you, what was your standout part of the season?
Oh, no, that's a few more. I think the main one for me has to be Monaco. Monaco is a track that I was stuck behind Ben for quite a bit in the first stint. Didn't think I was going to win. And then obviously I managed to win on pens. And to be fair, you could probably put this race in as well. All the pushbacks I had. Or where I probably could have lost my head. And I did for the short second, but then I just went for it. So they're the 2 points I'd say. They're the races I've done. Where I've actually mentally, that's mentality probably. But if we're talking pace, then I'd probably say Imola. I felt like Imola I was very quick. I could catch up to people quite easily, even people who would normally be up there. So they're the 3 I would say personally.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, seeing that, just having special moments just depending on the situation you want. Perfect to see that, of course, Imola was the race that went exactly how you want. That's also where you got crowned champion after a deserving win. I mean, the word doesn't come to mind. There was an amazing season out of you. It's a perfect season. And with that, do you have any final words to say to us, to the broadcast?
Mainly, this season has been a blast. I think I hope you've enjoyed commentating it. We obviously don't look to be bigger and better next season. Look to get more people in, more better racing. Draw for more battles. But yeah, no, again, like what the others said, we appreciate obviously you commentating, Foxy. It's been a blast. Just even looking back when I've won races and I've heard you shouting like the madman. Yeah, it's always been a highlight of the season. And yeah, we look to next season and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's amazing. The final words we want for the stream. So thank you so much, Kirk. Congratulations to the championship, and that it will be the end of season 4. Now you have to correct me here. Did I say it correctly? Season 4.
Yeah, it'll be season 4. This one.
Good. I was second guessing myself saying it. So season 4 comes to an end with Kirk winning, and final words to me to you, Kirk. Congratulations for the championship. Congratulations for the amazing battles you've shown us, and have a good rest of your night. Enjoy this championship. Enjoy the success you've managed to get yourself into, and have a good night.
Thank you very much.
And to the broadcast, good morning, good day, good evening, good night, whoever you are. This was the end of season 4 here in the Owls Racing League. I was a commentator, Captain Foxy, and we just heard some of our drivers.
I've ended stream on my end.